Hi and welcome back. I was hoping this week to be out camping with my wife and the dogs at the foot of Withfa, or the mountain that was once called Snowdon. Sadly, Harvey, my oldest dog, has fallen a bit sick, so the trip has had to be cancelled for a while, but don't worry, he is okay. We're just letting him rest up for a bit. And this trip has been penciled in the diary for a future video. However, I am in need of a night out to test my gear, so I hope you won't be too disappointed. Since the last video, I've had one or two people message me on Facebook or on YouTube to ask a few questions, mainly about the kitchenette, and I will get on to that later. But first, about the bed. One gentleman in particular who has a Citroen Berlingo, which is a van very similar to mine. Mine is the Peugeot Partner TP, and basically the same thing, just made by different companies. Anyhow, he asks, and quite rightly so, he's only got 5'8" of room in the back of his van. So how do I at 6 foot manage to get in a bed and sleep? And the answer is quite simple. Firstly, you put the driver's seat, because this is the driver's side, into the upright position and slide it all the way forward. That actually gives me a space of about 6'2", so plenty of room. The next problem is the bed itself, because all right, you've gained that space, but the bed, which has been travelling down the road, is not 6'2". So how I got round it initially was with an extra piece of ply and another cushion. That gives me over 6 feet in length. When I'm laying on the bed, my body weight naturally holds that piece of ply in position and it doesn't shift, providing I don't sort of sit on it. However, as I stated in the previous video, it's all evolution. Things have been a-changing, and I'm always looking for new ideas. And I had a little think about it. And what I've done is this. I had some metal left over from the original bed when I cut it up. And what I've done is I've made this sliding drawer. This is tough as all boots. It's got big brackets underneath there and lots of nice shiny bolts holding it all together. Drop into place this piece, apply, fold that down and take the aforementioned cushion and pop it on there. And this is really comfortable. In fact, I'll be testing this out in the video to show you. It works well because you can sit on this as a seat to use the sink and the cooker and get into your cupboards, no problem at all. And it's a really good sleeping platform. There's something else I would like to show that one or two other people spotted that I hadn't mentioned. This seabed has had a piece cut out of the side. This is to follow the profile of the car itself. This bit slots very nicely into where the side sliding door is, and the body of the work on the inside then comes in, so this pops into it. It doesn't cause a problem at all. The reason for why is, if you imagine one of those coffin-shaped sleeping bags, your body is sort of that shape, and so with my head at this end and my feet at that end, everything works like a dream, as you'll find out later. Keen to test out the new bed arrangement, I went looking for a quiet spot in the countryside. It was quite late and a bit of a drop of the hat moment. There was also a storm moving in, and I wanted to set up camp for the night before the rains came. I could already see rain down in the valley, and it was heading my way. I thought a nice piece of woodland would be ideal, as I love waking up in the morning to the dawn chorus, especially away from the traffic noise. Sometimes I like campsites, but on occasions I like to commune with nature, find a quiet spot and listen to the birds and the wind in the trees. Not too far from home is this small woodland. This is not in any way a stealthy camping trip, and my little car was going to stand out like a sore thumb. However, it is a quiet spot, and I doubted anybody would be bothered. And to be honest, it is off the trail, and I didn't see a soul or car the whole time I was there. And remember, I leave no trace of my visit. To be honest, with thunder rumbling in the distance, I shouldn't have parked under a big tree. But I was so happy with the spot. The air was fresh, and the evening bird song was music to my ears. With the dusk now fast approaching, I set the car up for the night, blacked out my windows, switched on the lights, and moved the seats and opened up the bed. I hope you'll forgive me for the lack of commentary and music throughout a lot of this week's video, but I just wanted to soak up the natural ambience. As per usual, it's rice cereal and a brew before settling down. Notice I still have my home luxuries, such as my TV, but I still have one ear to the outdoors, as I had hoped to see perhaps a deer or a badger. With darkness all around and heavy eyelids, it was finally time to turn down the lights and test the bed. I'm not sure what awoke me from my slumbers. Perhaps it was the thunder, or maybe an animal noise, but it didn't take me long to fall back to sleep. Okay, I admit it, I slept in. It had been light for quite a while by the time I finally woke up. Obviously, the bed did its job. I arose from a comfortable night's sleep with no aches and pains, just a bit blurry-eyed. I packed up and downed a quick coffee before scooting off with things to do. I mentioned earlier that people had messaged me about the kitchenette, and there have been various questions, everything from how much the units weighed to how to get copies of the plans. Well, firstly, I'd like to thank everybody for both their questions and also suggestions on further improvements. I have mentioned it before, but I have a Facebook group, and a link is provided within the description. My original plans for the kitchen units were rather basic, and they were really only a tidied up version of my original scribblings and meant for me. Anyhow, I've been really busy producing new, more user-friendly sets of plans together with suggestions of where to find the parts, such as the sink, the faucet, and even the double burners. It's really been quite fun researching where to find everything and at the lowest prices. I've even used eBay and Temu. Now is a good time to join the Facebook group, as I will be occasionally posting additional footage that won't be being used on the main channel, such as more top tips. If when you've viewed the Facebook group you have further questions, please feel free to ask. Indeed, suggestions for the channel or just chat is most welcome. Anyhow, enough of my chatter. If you find my videos in any way useful or entertaining, please give me a like, ring that bell and subscribe. New videos come out every 2 weeks at 6 p.m, so make a date in your diary for Friday the 5th of June. Anyhow, it's now the camping season, so get out there, enjoy yourselves, but above all, stay safe, and bye for now.